What is life like here in Gaza? What is it like to be a 12 or 13-year-old boy now in Gaza?
Very dangerous.
It's very
dangerous.
Why?
Because every day the airplanes go in the sky, and sometimes they may bomb some places, and I'm really scared that maybe the bomb can come on me.
So
by accident.
Do you think that every day?
Yeah.
Mohammed Sha'af's family had, inexplicably, moved to Gaza from Chesterfield.
And what do they feel about the Israelis?
أيام الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم كانوا اليهود كلهم كانوا خاينين للعهد ولا عمرهم التزموا بعقد من العقود.
Are they saying that because in the Quran you couldn't make an agreement with the Jews, that means the Jews can never make an agreement?
Yes, yes.
Can you ask them whether they think there will be peace one day?
No, not with Israelis.
Impossible.
Not with Israelis.
There can be no peace with the Jews?
Can't be any peace
Never.
with the Jews. Never.
So how can there be peace?
They don't want agreement. They don't want peace. They were the cause of trouble in Germany, in Spain, in Argentina, and in Russia, and all over the world. They were. If there is a war or a coming war, a Jew will be the one who urges the war to start, who breaks out the war.
But the Jews weren't the cause of the trouble in Germany.
In Germany.
When?
Before the reign of Hitler.
Don't you think that what happened in Germany was actually the Germans' fault?
But they make trouble in Germany. They make troubles for the Germans, so they hated them and make troubles for them.
Hardly surprising that the Israelis complain about how history is taught. And why, for example, is there nothing in the school books about the Holocaust? Mr. Zabut can tell us. He chairs the Education Committee of the Palestinian Legislative Council.
From my point of view, that Holocaust was exaggerated from the Israeli people in order to justify that why they are come to Palestine, because they were exposed to so and so and so.
When people say that there may have been 6 million Jews killed in Europe in the Second World War, you think that this is not true?
Not true, of course. Of course not true. We are sure of that.
In Britain, what we believe is that the Germans set up big concentration camps in which they killed hundreds of thousands of people, and they killed thousands of people every day in the gas chambers. Do you know something different to that?
We believe that they suffered, but not as they said. They're exaggerating the matter. We know that it was happening. It happened for them, but it is exaggerated. Anyhow, even if it was true, what is our responsibility for that? Why they try to come to Palestine and to kill the Palestinian people and make deportation for the Palestinian people? Why we have to pay the price? Why? What is our relation to that? Even if they were killed, all of them, it is not our responsibility. It is the responsibility of Germany and Europe.
Wrong, certainly. But is it such an impossible view to understand? Especially here in Gaza, where incursions by the Israeli Defense Force regularly leave a toll of bereavement and damage. It's the kind of place where you can believe nothing and anything. Gaza is the stronghold of Hamas, the Islamist organization which opposes the existence of the Israeli state, opposes the roadmap to peace, and is a major sponsor of suicide bombings. Their political spokesman is the dour but likeable Aziz Rantisi. I was here to ask him about the Hamas covenant, which claims that there's a Zionist plot to establish a mega-Israel from the Nile to the Euphrates. And what's cited in the covenant as proof? Our old friend, the Protocols of the Elders of Zion.
This document has been published, I think, in Russia, and discovered the plans of Jewish against not only Muslims but Christians and the humanity.
Does it matter to you that This document is widely believed in Europe to be a forgery, that it was created by a member of the Russian Secret Service in about 1905, 1906.
I was hesitated to accept that document, but when we look what is going on here in Palestine, we can't say it's not prepared from the Jewish themselves.
On the long walk back through no man's land, I reflected. There was a staggering level of naivety, people who knew nothing of European history and its lessons. Then there was the bitterness and misery of endless conflict. If conditions were different, I wondered, would we get such extreme manifestations of hatred? They are a little different here in Ramallah, on the West Bank, where Yasser Arafat built his headquarters. Normal life of a sort goes on, and outside the madness of Gaza, moderate voices can make themselves heard. A good place, then, to seek justification for the pictures of hate I'd seen at Palestinian Media Watch. When incitement to hatred is officially outlawed here, what on earth is it doing on Palestinian TV?
Do you think that maybe such sermons should not be shown on official television?
I think that at a time when Israel is occupying the Palestinian territories and doing this daily massive killing of Palestinians, I think that it's very difficult to blame the Palestinians no matter what they would say vis-à-vis the Israelis.
The proposition I was putting to you was that maybe circumstances and the last few years of anger and hatred had begun to create a sort of a change in the way in which peoples were describing each other.
No, I am still saying that most of this is out of hostility rather than racism.
If there is a just peace, is it your view that images like that will simply disappear?
I am sure that these kind of hostile descriptions will end if the Israeli occupation on the Palestinian people will end.
But if Mr. Khatib is right about Palestine, how does that explain why there's so much anti-Semitism in the wider Arab world? The largest Arab state is Egypt. If you'd been there last year, you might have seen this, a TV drama series featuring the protocols of the Elders of Zion. Just watch, if you will, a bit of this, an epic TV drama shown across the Middle East. It's called Horseman Without a Horse. It tells the story of the Arab fight against colonialism, set against the backdrop of a diabolical Zionist plot to establish world domination. Large chunks of the series featured the protocols of the Elders of Zion. The same protocols forged in the 1900s, approved of by Hitler and quoted in the Hamas covenant. The 41-part series caused a major uproar in Israel and America, and was the reason I came to Egypt. It was made here. And now, no one was available to talk about it. During my trip to Cairo, I was accompanied at all times by 2 armed security guards and the affable Amin Mumtaz of the government press office. All requests for interviews went through him. And Mohammed Soubi, the series producer and star, was, I was told, too busy. Anti-Semitism, Amin would later tell me, is a very sensitive matter. What was interesting was the identity of the one man prepared to talk seriously about Egyptian anti-Semitism. Chief political advisor and right-hand man to President Hosni Mubarak, Osama al-Baz. Just after the start of the Horseman series, he asked and got the president's permission to write a series of articles condemning Arab anti-Semitism.
Why did you feel it necessary to write those articles?
Because I felt that the Arab-Israeli dispute caused a certain distortion in the minds of many people, both Arabs and Israelis, about each other. And because the Arabs were innocent about what happened to the Jewish people in Europe, about